If you've been told that the secret to wealth is to get a degree, land a safe job, save for 40 years, and retire rich, DeMarco says you're being lied to. In the Millionaire Fastlane, he flips everything you've learned about money upside down. This book isn't about cutting lattes or pinching pennies. It's about creating a life of financial freedom now, not at 65. DeMarco exposes what he calls the slow lane, the traditional path to wealth that keeps most people trapped in mediocrity. You trade your time for money, depend on a fixed salary, and hope that compound interest works its magic. Decades from now. But what if you could skip all that? He introduces the fast lane, a strategy where you build scalable systems, create value at scale, and separate your time from your income. It's not easy, it's not passive, but it's powerful and it works. DeMarco breaks down the difference between consumers and producers. Most people are stuck being consumers, buying things, chasing status, and spending more than they earn. Fastlaners, on the other hand, become producers. They create businesses, products, services, value that can be sold at scale. He argues that wealth is built through control, not dependence. If your income depends on your boss, your hours, or your physical presence, you're not in control, you're in a trap. The fast lane is about building assets that generate income even when you're not working. Instead of trading time for money, you create systems that multiply your time, like online businesses, software, intellectual property, or platforms that reach thousands or millions of people. This isn't about luck or overnight success. It's about leveraging smart strategies, long hours, and relentless focus to build real freedom. Much faster than the average route. DeMarco breaks down the difference between consumers and producers. Most people are stuck being consumers, buying things, chasing status, and spending more than they earn. Fastlaners, on the other hand, become producers. They create businesses, products, services, value that can be sold at scale. He argues that wealth is built through control, not dependence. If your income depends on your boss, your hours, or your physical presence, you're not in control, you're in a trap. The fast lane is about building assets that generate income even when you're not working. Instead of trading time for money, you create systems that multiply your time, like online businesses, software, intellectual property, or platforms that reach thousands or millions of people. This isn't about luck or overnight success. It's about leveraging smart strategies, long hours, and relentless focus to build real freedom. Much faster than the average route. Now that you know the fast lane commandments, DeMarco breaks down how the traditional route, school, job, save, retire, is actually a slow lane disguised as security. He explains how the slow lane mindset trades time for money and locks people into decades of delayed gratification. You're taught to work 40 hours a week for 40 years, save a small portion, hope for a decent return, and maybe, just maybe, enjoy retirement when you're too old to live fully. But the math doesn't add up. A 5% return on savings won't create massive wealth unless you start with millions, and most people don't. Meanwhile, inflation, emergencies, and life get in the way. Instead, DeMarco urges readers to stop renting out their time and start building assets that generate passive income and can scale. He reminds us that time is the only resource you can't get back, so the sooner you shift from trading hours to creating value, the faster you can build real freedom. This is why the fast lane isn't about shortcuts. It's about building a smart, scalable, controllable business that solves real needs and frees your time. DeMarco now reveals the core of the fast lane. Building a business that follows the commandments of wealth, control, entry, need, time, and scale. He emphasizes that successful businesses aren't fueled by empty passion, but by solving real problems. Your product or service needs to serve people in a meaningful way. The bigger the impact, the bigger the potential return. One key principle is scale. If your offer only works locally or depends solely on your time, it won't take you far. The fast lane is powered by systems that scale, automation, and global reach, especially through the internet. DeMarco also stresses the importance of control. If you rely on a boss, a platform, or someone else's system, you're at their mercy. Real wealth demands that you're behind the wheel of your own business. And perhaps the most powerful idea, decoupling your time from your money. This means building assets that generate income even when you're not working, like digital products, books, licenses, platforms, or automated systems. In short, the fast lane isn't some get-rich-quick scheme. It's a mindset rooted in logic, math, and bold action. It's about stepping off the path of mediocrity and designing your own road to freedom. Now DeMarco shifts the focus to something crucial: the harsh truths people ignore. Most people live under a dangerous illusion that working a stable job, saving a small percentage, and waiting 40 years is the smart path. But DeMarco challenges this idea ruthlessly. He calls it a slow death in disguise. He argues that this traditional path, what he calls the slow lane, is rigged. Inflation eats your savings. Emergencies crush your financial plans. And worst of all, you're spending the best years of your life waiting for a reward that may never come. According to him, time is your most precious asset, and the slow lane steals it from you. Trading decades for a maybe retirement? That's a scam most people don't even question. The fast lane, on the other hand, gives you the tools to reclaim your time now, not when you're 65 and tired. But it demands that you wake up, get uncomfortable, and take full responsibility for your financial destiny. DeMarco doesn't sugarcoat it. Most won't make it because they're addicted to comfort, distraction, and excuses. But for those who break free, the reward is true wealth. Not just money, but freedom, time, and purpose. So what does the fast lane actually look like? DeMarco explains that fastlaners don't rely on job promotions or stock market returns. Instead, they build systems that create value and scale businesses, platforms, or products that work for them even when they're not around. This could mean creating a digital product, building an online brand, launching a scalable service, or developing an app. The key is to detach your income from your time. If you're still trading hours for dollars, you're not in the fast lane, you're just wearing a different uniform. Another pillar of the fast lane is control. Fastlaners don't wait for permission, they create opportunities. They own their outcomes. They build assets that they control, rather than relying on a boss, a pension, or the economy. But DeMarco is clear. The fast lane isn't about getting rich overnight. It's not a shortcut. It's a high-speed, high-effort road that leads to freedom. Takes skill, strategy, and resilience. If you can identify a need in the market and solve it at scale, you're on the right track. Money follows value, and fastlaners become rich by serving many, not by serving one. Another key concept MJ DeMarco introduces is the idea of money trees. These are scalable, controllable systems that can generate income without directly trading time for money. For example, a book, a product, an app, or a service-based website, something that can reach thousands or even millions with minimal extra effort on your part. DeMarco emphasizes that true wealth comes when your income is not limited by your time. If you stop working and the money stops flowing, you're still in the rat race, even if you're making more than average. He challenges you to build systems. Think, how can I solve a problem in a way that works at scale? How can I create something once and have it generate income again and again? This is the difference between being a business operator and being a business owner. The operator is stuck in daily tasks. The owner creates systems and steps back while the systems work for them. So, if you're serious about achieving real financial freedom, it's time to stop selling hours and start planting money trees. The final roadmap to wealth in the Millionaire Fastlane is all about taking control and creating your own path to success. DeMarco emphasizes the importance of taking massive action, a common theme throughout the book. The fast lane isn't a passive road. You need to actively work, plan, and execute. You need to be intentional in how you approach the market and your business. Wealth doesn't come from waiting. It comes from pursuing your goals relentlessly. The fast lane road also involves risk-taking. Unlike the sidewalk dwellers who avoid risk to stay safe, fastlaners take calculated risks. They understand that risk is part of the game, and they embrace it to get ahead. But the key takeaway is that you must never stop learning. The fast lane requires continuous growth, learning new skills, developing expertise, and adapting to new opportunities. The more you learn, the faster you can scale your business and achieve financial independence. In the final chapters of the Millionaire Fastlane, DeMarco leaves us with a powerful reminder. Wealth is not just about money. It's about the freedom that comes with it. Freedom of time, freedom of choice, and freedom of lifestyle. Fastlaners, DeMarco argues, don't just want money. They want control. They want to have the ability to make choices that align with their values and vision, without being held back by financial limitations. He encourages readers to think differently about money and wealth. The traditional path of working a 9-to-5 job, saving, and hoping for retirement isn't the only way to achieve financial independence. There's a faster, smarter way, the fast lane. The final message of the book is empowerment. The fast lane is available to anyone who is willing to learn, take action, and create something of value that can scale. You don't have to wait for permission, and you certainly don't have to follow the typical societal path. You can create your own success. To wrap up, The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco isn't just a book about money. It's about mindset, strategy, and freedom. It challenges the conventional approach to wealth and pushes you to think outside the traditional path. DeMarco presents a blueprint for escaping the rat race and designing a life where you control your financial destiny. He stresses that true wealth is about creating systems, taking calculated risks, and constantly growing and learning. If you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck or stuck in the cycle of working for someone else, this book offers a clear roadmap to break free and live on your terms. Remember, wealth is a choice, not a chance. Your fast lane starts with taking the first step. If you found this summary helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new video on wealth building strategies. Also, comment below and let us know which part of the Millionaire Fastlane resonated with you the most. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and remember, your journey to financial freedom starts with the first step.